Rest in peace, Daniel DeMille.
That's right. Yeah.
MF Doom. I mean, he's been gone since October, which is weird because people
Halloween is when he passed.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
So Halloween, he's been gone since then, and like there were people like, why were we not notified of this? Like, why does he have to?
Yeah.
First off,
like
he's literally a mystery, like fucking.
He wore a mask his entire career. He's like, Doom. I'm disappointed that I didn't know.
Passing away in the year that you wear masks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh fuck. Whoa, dude.
I don't think that's not an original thought. I've seen people say it, but I'm just
really?
like, yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. He's like, everyone's biting my style. I need to dip out of here. Dude.
You know, some lib's gonna be like, well, it wasn't an N95 that he was wearing. But
wouldn't it be funny if he was like a legit like anti-masker in real life? He's like, fuck this shit, dude.
This is the year he took it off. This was the year he took it off. He's just like, everyone's like, who's that? He's like, that's MF Doom. Oh shit. Yeah. No, but
oh my god.
But dude, it sucked. Like that one.
Did any libs have any like he died of COVID takes or anything like that? Did you see any?
Well, it went through my mind because I know he had some like health issues. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember reading a while back his son passed away too, like earlier this year. So I really feel bad for dude's wife, but he, I don't even know where to start, but like, I mean, you and we've been listening to Doom since high school, dude. Like just and like,
oh yeah, it
was a special like thing, and we're not like we're not solely that type of music either. Like we like you know hyphy shit, like you know West Coast shit. Like we like all that stuff too. We're not like the Adult Swim bros. Like
and I saw that. You see that Class Redux killer tweet on when Doom died, where he's like,
I was the guy he was talking about. Yeah.
Well, he was like I never. Yeah, he's like, well, I never really fucked with him too much because I thought he was overrated. Like I get that. You know,
no, it's not for everybody.
I get it, but at the same time, like, come on, dude, Doom's like a legend. Like Doom's like a legend. Like your favorite rapper.
Respect.
Doom,
no, and I have rappers that are like that for me too.
Yeah,
where I'm like, I get it. Like I 1000% understand why you like it. There's TV shows like that.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, you could show it to certain people and they'll be like, the fuck is this guy talking about?
No, but Doom. I mean, it was just like, I mean, first of all, he was just part of that universe of just the crazy beat heads and like just that like fucking avant-garde,
the large, even back in the day with KMD with Large Professor, like shit like that. Like it goes so like because like people know
because like when we were growing up, it was like being weird with hip hop was like a cool thing, but back in the day, with like Large Professor with who's the fucking the other dude, the super weird guy,
Cool Keith.
Cool Keith, yeah, exactly. Like back then, like that was like brave to do that shit in hip hop back in the day. You know, where you're like,
Automator, Dan the Automator, all that.
And the Automator, Cool Keith, and MF Doom, of course, and dude, just of course the Mad Lib cuts and everything like that.
Mad Villainy is so good. Like you listen to it now, and you could tell me it came out yesterday, and I'd be like, oh shit. But then
it's timeless.
Tell me that it came out in 1997. It's one of those things where like I wouldn't know when it came out until you told me. But I remember when it came out. That was when I first got into Doom.
Yeah,
I remember it came out and I'm like, this is amazing. But I think you'll agree with me here. The shit that really like resonates, the first thing I thought was the Special Herbs and Spices tape.
Yep. Well, we have some history there. We got because in high school we should we drop some
I don't care. Yeah.
Should we drop some special herbs for our audience about our past and stuff? And
I mean, let's not spoil it that we were stoners in high school. Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, you were smoking weed before I was.
Yes, I was.
And then I remember we
did up in the podcast. Yeah.
We did it like the first. I think I had done it before you with like some. You know, I'm not mentioning their name. You know who they are. You know, but
I don't think you started before me.
Once or twice.
I was 13, dude.
No, I'm saying like you got me started, but like for real, you know.
Oh yeah.
But I remember the first time we get down, we would go to the Christian elementary school right by us, and we with the barbecue lighter and the pipe, like just fucking doing that thing. But then we would
barbecue lighter, dude, the big church candle thing.
Yeah, it's like, is it working? Yeah. And we're like all paranoid. Is anyone gonna catch us? It's like no one's here, dude. Like
20-mile-per-hour winds. You're like, people holding around it.
Yeah. Well, no, and then but I remember we had like our routine. We'd get fucking lit. We'd cruise, sometimes in your ride, sometimes in mine, right? But we go
mostly yours. I think I remember the Explorer, bro. Like I just remember that beautiful champagne Explorer.
Yeah, 92, dude.
Yeah. Was it a 92?
Yeah, 92.
See, I thought it was like almost near Millennium. God, they never changed that car for like 10 years.
It was and we bought it from our neighbor, and she was one of those like kept it in immaculate fucking condition, like literally, you know.
Love
and then
that.
I trashed it in like 3 years, you know. But, but yeah, we'd go, we'd pick up fucking chicken tenders from Jack in the Box, right?
Tendies, as the lefts call it now. Yeah.
Orange or tundra. We used to call them tundras. Remember?
Yeah. Tundras, anything that wasn't the word. Yeah. That was what we would.
And then orange Fanta was our thing for some fucking. I don't even know where that started.
No, I know exactly where that started. When you and I used to go party with those preppy kids.
Oh.
And
dude,
and there was orange Fanta and E&J, which is no joke, like what Hitler used to kill himself. Like it was the worst combination. What a horrible, like we
were such bad party. I remember we'd party with like the real party heads at our school, and they'd be like, "What the fuck are you drinking? Like, what is this? What are you guys doing?
Columbine tomorrow? What's going on?"
Yeah. And
it
was so funny.
No, but I remember one time, and this was getting back to Doom. We were listening to Special Herbs and Spices because it was crazy. When I first heard Doom, I didn't understand the lyrics. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like the lyrics, I'm like, I didn't get the character thing. I'm 16, 17. And but the beats, I was like, fuck, dude, these samples are so good. You and I were getting into cutting records and digging and stuff. And we're driving one time, right? You were driving. And it was one of those ones where like there's a place you get to. It's a corner. I was like,
wait, first off, like Special Herbs and Spices is MF Doom instrumental tapes, and they had like and they would name it like marjoram and all this weird shit, and there was fire banging
sumac berries,
and some of them were Doom songs. It turned out to be, and some of them were just random tracks. But like he was a crazy producer on the MP,
which was incredible. That like it's such a good idea that you would put out your songs as tracks, and it's like, oh, I know that beat. But it was different. Like it felt like a completely different thing than the song.
Yeah. But go ahead though. Yeah.
So I don't know, what is that kitty corner when it's like across the way when you can get there from like 2 different ways? So we were trying to get somewhere, some kind of snack place or something like across. Yeah. We're driving and this just popped in. I haven't remembered this in years. And we're driving and like it was one of those ones where like if the light was green, you would have gone straight to get to the thing. But since it was red, you're gonna take the right, take the U-turn. But like you just decided to cut completely across and you drove over like I want to say like a 1.5 high median like curb and just and like chunk the Explorer on there.
Like and like one of the 5 foot wide ones too. Like could have bellied it out or some shit.
No joke. Like I was like, I'm surprised we weren't like still on there, stuck on there. Like and it was like, can you imagine the guy?
Just right over.
I think it was a Shell gas station. Can you imagine the guy like looking from afar and he just sees like that happen and he goes, oh man, these guys are gonna spend $40 on snacks at my place.
Yes. Like, dude. So many close calls in that car. Dude. Like how did I never get in trouble with cops or anything, dude? Just like all that was so
I remember one time you did. Do you remember this?
What happened?
So I remember getting pulled over. We were with some friends and they were different skin color than us. And
we were getting pulled over.
We were getting pulled over and it was somewhere. And
oh my god, I was driving and they were like, what are you doing back there? And it was like,
it was the first time I'd ever been pulled over with black people.
Yeah.
And like,
weren't we like, we're just coming from the studio, man. We're recording an album. The guy's like, oh yeah, you're recording an album.
Yeah, that was like the worst excuse to tell somebody. It's like, we're actually independent rappers. You'll understand.
Which wasn't a lie, dude.
We were driving. Oh my God. And we had a couple guys and like they were older than us and stuff, like older black dudes. And I remember they get pulled over and we're just like, whatever. So the cop pulled it over, and it's like the funniest part about it is when the cop pulls us over. Yeah, I could tell. Like, I think he pulled you over for having your trailer hitch covering your license plate number, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
it was like your hitch was going upwards, but it was the most bullshit. Dude. Like the most like when there's black people in the car, it was like one of those. So it's like get pulled over, and the cop I remember comes up, not like with me when I get pulled over, they're like, how you doing, man? What's going on tonight? They go, hey, is anybody on parole? As soon as he walks up, you're like, fuck, like, oh no. And like they're like, no. And nothing came of it and stuff. Yeah. But I just remember that was during that time. Just listening to Doom and like just a couple days ago. I remember I sent it to you, like JD Beck and Domi, like doing like Euro cuts and just like man, like it's sad. And like, I haven't like checked for new Doom songs in a long time, but just those old ones. I listened to Mad Villainy a lot. I listened to Herbs and Spices a lot. Like the Dilla universe.
Oh yeah, dude.
And Mad Lib, like the best, man.
Yeah, because it was one of those things you caught on early, but you didn't realize how special it was, and then it holds up, And the special with Doom as a producer, it's crazy because like, as he's one of those guys, like, there's producers that can craft a crazy beat, but then there's like the real beat heads that dig for samples and shit like that, right? And then there's, obviously like Dilla was rocking the Moog synthesizer. You know, he wasn't just a sample guy. He was doing all of it.
No, he could build from scratch.
But but I remember with like guys like Dilla and Madlib and Doom, well, as a producer, I remember once you started to dig for those samples, when you would hear the original track that the song was sampled from, and you like the song sounds like they did some crazy shit to it, but it's like, no, they just found a dope sample. Like it was like, it was literally,
they let it breathe and drown it out with drums. They didn't like certain guys when they
and I was like, oh, they must have, and I was like, this is 10 times more genius than I ever thought.
And the Alchemist does that now. That's why I love like Alchemist used to, for the longest time, he would but he would drown out with the drums, like kind of computerized drums. But then after a while, I think just those years he spent digging in Europe and stuff, he would he then realized like, no, the sample's the star.
Yeah, exactly.
The star of the show. And it's not like you get this integrity where like, you're like, no, I have to add something or else it's not, this.
Yeah,
Like, well, it's not your song.
Yeah,
like, it's not.
Exactly.
It will never be yours. Whether you sample it or not, it will never be yours. So you might as well not ruin it, first off. And like,
there's a sweet spot.
Exactly. And Doom was great about it. He would just be like, look, this is an incredible fucking sample. What can I do to make this better? I can't. Maybe I'll rap on it.
And I loved how because we were, like the MPC because we had an MPC and it has the feature of the play start button where you could there's a play and then the play start. So where you can hit it'll go straight to the first beat of the measure as many times as you want rather than just and so so he would just go and I love it. We were so we know what he's doing. We were so stoked. Yeah. So
it was great, man. It was real sad.
Yeah, I do have one more. I forgot one more car thing. There was one other cop thing I forgot about. I remember I bought weed from Graham one time. Fucking Graham, and just one
stupid ass Graham. That was his nickname. Was fucking stupid ass Graham. That was his nickname. Like, and he was just like,
dude. And
he could kick your ass. No joke. Like, you could end your life. But he was just like, nah, that's do you want some weed?
Yeah. He was funny. No, but I drove over to his. It was like fucking one of those sketch things. I drove over to his like ghetto ass neighborhood and I park. He's like, park and wait for me right here. Just wait a couple minutes. And like, I can like see, he's like across the street on some apartment thing. And I could see him like coming down. And then there's like right away, like a cop pulls up right behind me. And then one pulls up right in front of me and stops. And they get out. They're like, what are you doing here, man? They literally were like, I've totally forgot about this until now. He's like, and Graham's across the street. He's like looking around the corner and I'm like, dude, I'm just parked here. They're like, you need to move. And like, you're buying drugs, aren't you? I'm like, all right, I'm out of here, dude. Yeah, but nothing happened. But it was like
the best. And it was funny, dude. That guy had the best shit too. Like the
best high school weed by far.
Dude. And what's funny about high school weed is you'd get so high you're drunk. Because like in high school, high school high, you'll never replicate it.
No,
you never will.
Yeah,
it's like where like you turn your head and it would be like chopped scenes. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was more so like you're just naive, or maybe you like wanted it to feel that way. But it's like, that's what when Doom died, I kind of like got all those like vibes back, and I'm like the last couple years have been rough, dude. Like with rapper deaths, like Nipsey and Doom are like two like probably top 10 like hip hop artists to me. Just for me personally,
dude.
And it's just been rough. Like and like I said, I'm not.
Did they ever collab on some random shit?
Nah, I don't think so. But like, that would have been crazy. Yeah, like Doom's doing fucking like just options trading with
was
2x escrow. That's commercial units or something.
Yeah.
Great line. But let's get to the meat. We had to give a just a
chicken tundras, dude.
Just a fantastic MC, rapper, whatever you want to call him, producer, just character, you know what I mean? All the Adult Swim stuff. It was perfect. It was a perfect storm.
Yeah.
But the libs and the leftists are going crazy right now, and we got to talk about it with COVID. So what I find crazy, and I don't even want to talk about the vaccine right now. We will, but
we got some vaccine shit episodes, bro.
We do, but there are some stuff we can talk about now. We'll bring the experts in. We'll definitely bring Serena back in. Definitely, she's been going off on Medium. And
that article was crazy. Yeah,
fantastic. It's on our Twitter account if you guys want to check that out.
Yeah,
but I just don't get it. I really thought by now they'd just be like, well, it is what it is. I thought for a while. Look. Trump, I thought they'd try to make COVID look a little bit better now that Biden's president. You know what I mean? Like I thought that, will be in a couple weeks. I thought that would be the case, but Like, it's nuts, dude. And it's not even, there are people now that aren't even doing science when you walk by them. Like, they swear they're doing science. I walk by my apartment complex. This lady walks by, and if you're not on YouTube, you won't see this. But if you this lady walks by me, I don't have a mask. I'm just walking my dog. She doesn't have a mask, right? So immediately, she literally puts her fucking hand in front of her face.
Dude.
No joke.
Yeah.
Like, what is your hand, N95? What the fuck is going on? Like, and it's getting to that point where I'm like, yo, this is never gonna end. Not even like the restrictions and stuff. I just talk about the mentality. Like, this shit is ingrained in people's heads where, like, you're not gonna get eye contact anymore from people.
Mission achieved, dude. I swear to God, it was. I remember early on. I in this shit. I remember walking down my street before I moved. Here, it was like a busier street I lived on, and I walk by, and this woman's like walking her dog, and she sees me. She like freezes up. She like retreats into the corner, like waits for me to pass, and then like once I go, she's like, oh, and then like walks around me.
Yeah, you're like returning a kickoff. You got to wait for your blocker. You got to, you're like, what the fuck?
And the whole thing where you're like walk through just like a fucking neighborhood, and you see someone like 3/4 of a block down, or like a couple walking, and like this happened the other day where you go to move across the street immediately once you see someone, and they go to move across the street, and you're like, oh wait, which one of us is moving across the street now, dude?
Yeah. You start doing doing the Devin Hester fucking shoulder shimmy shit. Yeah, no, it's just no human interaction. You see these people, and like New Year's, right? I'm watching New Year's Rockin' Eve or whatever that shit is. Just last night we were gonna watch the ball drop, and shout out Carson Daly, by the way. I didn't know that fool was still around. Like, TRL Carson Daly. I was like, holy shit, this guy's still fucking he's printing money, dude. This guy's insane.
Were you watching with all the cams of like London, New York City, all that shit?
That New York, dude, the New York City shit was scary. Like,
what was the deal? No, I like how all of them had the cameras and everything up, and they're all just stationary, and the Vegas one was just twerking out. It's like zoom in, out, it's just like, I was like, what's going on in Vegas?
Fucking nuts, dude.
New York City,
No, New York City is nuts. And like they would let like two people come down. Let's go to the celebration pods down there. And there's like two people with like masked up, like hella crazy, like full pads. And you're like, what? Yeah. And they're just like masked up and they're like, this is so great. Oh my God, Happy New Year. And like, there's no way this is temporary.
Yeah. Well, it's new normal. No, just kidding. Yeah, I don't know, dude. But I think what it's gonna do is just gonna be another culture war. Like, I do feel in the next 3 months, more and more just regular people, forget about like political MAGA or like whatever type people, are just gonna be like, yeah, I'm just kind of done with this shit. I feel people are exhausted with it. No, but the other people, they double down.
They can't say they are.
And the people, the minority just doubles down stronger and stronger each time. And you know what I mean? Like you said, like the fucking hand in the front of the face woman, or the and it's
or I have a coworker. He's MAGA, and he's like, the day it happened, like COVID came out, and he's like, it's fake. The day it happened, like he was just nope. Like if Hillary was president, he would have masked up. Like like, it was totally politicized on his thing.
Yeah,
but like he made it like a racist thing, and I've tweeted about this. But like like me and him would be talking. No mask and stuff outside. Black guy walks by and
dude.
Yeah,
what's up with that,
Mexican guy mask. And it's like,
all right. What's okay?
Wild. But that's where we are right now. And and like when you start to see the stuff like the Great Reset stuff happen, you're like, where everything's done on Amazon.
The Great Reset. Oh, that fake conspiracy theory that they print in mainstream news and have like giant op-eds and stuff. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Naomi, what's her name? The one that was shitting on Glenn Greenwald.
Naomi Klein.
Yeah, just wrote something
whack,
today.
Dude.
Yeah, she was like, I'm sorry, let's stop pretending we don't like Amazon. Like, she was doing like those type of negations of it, and it's like,
she's weird, man. I can't figure her out, dude. I was like,
whack as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Somebody needs to intercept her fucking articles before they ever get out there. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
I hate this narrative of when when you go to like the, any mainstream media shit, or you're just on like the Twitter, like trends homepage or whatever, where it's like, and everyone, it's like, Callie's out of beds or whatever. But, and first of all, Alex Berenson's like, nah, he's like, this is fake. This is fake shit. Yeah.
I was going to get into him. He's fantastic.
Yeah, dude. But the whole all right, so you're telling, because you know, I'm watching this argument go back and forth, and I've participated a little bit, and it's like,
I love when you do that.
Thanks.
There's nothing makes me more happy when I see Jim Scalpert just
dude. I need to change that. I need a new name.
I gave you that one. I gotta come up with another one. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Do you want to still be Scalp?
Maybe. Yeah. We'll leave it open.
Okay. If we want to,
I'm down for, if it's a good Scalp, we'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I have one, but go ahead. Yeah. No, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. But no, the whole this. Okay. Tell me if this makes sense with this narrative of like, we've been in this shit for fucking 10 months, right? This crazy global pandemic,
been conceived and delivered.
Yeah. Okay, through this whole thing, they're saying now that California ICU beds are like, well, you know, Gavin will say like, we have 0% bed capacity. Now, when I say 0%, I don't mean we don't have any beds. I'm like, wait, what what is 0%? And
then he goes, have a good night's sleep on us.
Yeah. No, but it's like, okay, so we apparently got 0 beds, right? Okay, well, we've had 10 months to prep. Why the fuck don't we have more beds? And then what they say,
Newsom broadcasting his L's.
Right. No, then what they say, first of all, it's not even true that we don't have like beds. There's extreme minority of spots where they don't have beds for patients and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of rural places that are kind of fucked. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not saying it's totally fake or anything. But the whole point, we've been in this for fucking however long, right? Doing this shit. What happened to the crazy military hospitals? What happened to all that shit? If you're so concerned about this, right? If this is your thing, you know, like you're worried about less beds, you know. But then they say, well, it's not so much we actually have. Then they pivot. Then they're like, we actually have beds, but it's actually the staff that we don't have. We don't have enough staff. And then I'm like reading all these stories of like, oh yeah, our hospital just like put 40% of our staff on unemployment and shit. Like
they're doing fucking TikToks in the hospital. Like,
and I'm like, yo, like you guys go over there. Like, if this is such a fucking emergency, pay them to go fly them to fucking, you know, just drive them on a bus or whatever to Burbank or whatever. And fuck it. It's like, it's like we want to fail at this, but it's such a whack virus that we have to pretend the dumbest shit is like the craziest thing, you know? So it's literally like, and it's such a it's funny, man, because I was thinking about this. Like, tell me what you think about this with the whole, you know, when we're of that camp of like, wait, you guys are voting for Biden, whatever. And they're like, oh, you an accelerationist, right? I'm like, whatever. I don't call myself one, but like, if you want to call me one. And then these guys will be like, yep, trash the whole entire global economy for this shit. It's like, you guys are the acceleration.
Yeah, no, voting for Biden is the most accelerationist shit I've ever
seen.
Dude.
Yeah.
Because so like, I will say this. I think Trump, like voting for Trump was accelerationist as well. But I think it was more fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think it's more fun to like do it the Trump way. We didn't
vote for Trump. Anyone is listening,
Trump is just gambling. You're at the craps table. You're like, my mortgage, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean?
Putting on green. You're gonna bet on green. On
Biden is like
on the roulette table.
And Biden is like, I'm just gonna like slowly decay under this, and it is accelerating. Like you said, you're tanking the entire economy, and then you get the dumb fucking leftists, like the dumb leftists that are like, well, we should have paid people to stay home. We didn't, and it was never a fucking option.
It's never gonna happen.
It was means tested unemployment. Unemployment's cucked right now. I know, I know you got hooked up, but like,
are they giving extra swag?
No,
not at all.
No, not here, not in California.
But are they doing the federal like extra $300 or something?
I don't believe so. I think that's what Josh Hawley, dude. Josh Hawley is gonna be the next Hitler.
Yeah, what's up with that dude, man? Yeah.
No, he's gonna be the next. Like, and I'm not saying like he's gonna put people in concentration camps. I'm just saying, look, if you look at the way Hitler rose, it was Germany was fucked after World War I. All these sanctions and all that kind of stuff happened. They were down on a society, and like he was just like, let me just be slightly better.
Yeah, like a right-wing populist dude. Exactly.
Yeah, he's doing. But he's a fraud, dude. He's already trying to like dispute the election, doing all this kind of shit, pandering to everybody. He's a fucking fraud. Problem is, the Democrats have no answer for him. Like they have nothing. He's gonna, dude. Holly in five games, dude. Gentleman sweep. He's gonna fucking crush Harris in 2024. I'm gonna say it here. You know, maybe I'm stupid, but I'm not even trying to get into that. right now. I mean, not super Holly. Like, I'm not trying to make this a politics fucking electoral thing.
Dude, it's so like it is like we got AOC defending the establishment. It's over, dude. It's like there's nothing. It's over.
The left is dead. Next week's episode, we're gonna bring on the system. I feel confident saying it because it's pretty locked in. But like the system of a system guys, perpetual self-optimizer.
So stoked on that.
We'll bring them in, and we're gonna talk about like the actual left. But I just right now, when you and I do episodes like this, I like to talk about just like the actual like.
Yeah,
what it does
but go off on
minds.
this COVID. Yeah, but go off on what
okay. So the other day, and the other day I posted and I was like, hey, are the flu numbers like weird to you guys?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Just asking questions. And everybody hates that. Liberals hate that more than anything.
Yeah,
I'm just asking questions.
They hate
like you don't have an answer.
Yeah,
and I said, are the flu numbers weird to you guys? You have places like San Diego that have 20,000 COVID cases and like double-digit flu.
Yeah.
Double digit. It double? Is it double or triple?
No, well, San Diego went from 20K cases 2 years ago or 1 year ago or whatever down to
flu was 20K and it went to
and they had 37, which is not that
can't happen.
That's not masks and social distancing. That's a fucking pure scam. That's like literally you can't be that brain dead to think like, okay, like if we did the mask and social distancing shit, that shit would get cut in half, maybe,
Yeah,
or like,
I could see a decline. I would respect a decline. Like I could see a decline.
But a fucking 10,000% decrease is like Jesus Christ.
Nice short. If you were shorting flu deaths,
dude, you'd be a rich motherfucker. Yeah,
killing.
But, dude, 37. Yeah.
So then what do I say? They'd say, well, there were people doing the stupid fucking thing response to me. And look, I bring this onto our podcast account. I have a lot of sports people that follow my other sports podcasts. So they venture into the RC world and they're like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? But they'll come in and go, hey, maybe masking and social distancing work. Okay, it's the same fucking state where literally people do landscaping and gardening outside by themselves in masks out here in the Bay Area. Everybody wears masks out here. Yeah. There's not anti-mask rally. I mean, there might be a couple, but it's not enough to fucking overwhelm a state.
I never see people that are masked.
Never. Yeah. There's all that stuff's happening here. So if you're telling, so there's two possibilities of what happened here. If the masks, right? You see where I'm going here. If the flu numbers went down, that means masks stop the flu, which I'm not going to say that's wrong. Maybe it does, right?
Yeah.
But we're locked down, right? We're locked down, and people say, "Oh, we didn't properly lock down."
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's the whole thing.
Shut up.
Yeah. That's the whole thing with the lockdown thing, and with those people is you can never. They can never be wrong. You know, it's an unprovable.
No, you're MAGA. You're MAGA.
Thing.
I'm right. You're MAGA. That's
not even. Yeah. Well, that too, but not even that. It's like literally, if you're not even that. It's if lockdowns work, it's because they worked really well and we should have done them. If they didn't work, it's because we should have done it harder and we didn't do it well enough.
It's like a football coach. It's like a football coach who's like, hey, my offense is fucking great. It's the execution that didn't happen on the field. But then they're like, you're running a 1947 wishbone offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Yeah.
But here, hold on. I'm sorry. The masks.
Yeah.
Like, so masks work for the flu. So if the COVID numbers are that drastically higher than the flu, then you're admitting that masks don't work. The cloth masks do not work at that point. If there's high COVID cases, because we're not locking down properly, we're not wearing masks, Trump, social distancing. But the flu numbers are down. So that means the mask is stopping the flu by your own logic, right? You know, that means the mask is stopping the flu. But like Alex Berenson said, maybe the COVID molecules are fucking smaller than the flu molecules that fly out of your cloth mask. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the case.
Well, I'm familiar with their whole argument on this shit. And what they say is, if you really dig in and you're like, really, you think that masks work for the flu but not COVID or whatever, and then they say it's like, well, COVID is scientifically more transmissible, so it's possible that masks can completely take down the flu but not completely take down COVID. And what I say to that is no. That's fucking
no, it's wrong.
What I say to that is if what you're saying has some kernel of truth to it, but not 20,000 to 37 kernel of truth. It's not. There's nothing that. And
I'm sorry, that masks can get rid of the flu. I actually believe that. That's why Asian countries have been doing that for a long fucking time. I agree with that.
Yeah, but it's also like I'm just like masks aren't the thing is the COVID libs treat masks like I saw this isn't my take. I forget who said this on Twitter, but it's not a fucking condom, you know? It's not like a fucking latex seal all like gonna stop every fucking AIDS virus and sperm cell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
I can still pretend I forgot it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
yeah. No, and it's like when he tweeted, the Black Trans Lives Matter rally in New York City in June, and it was just like fucking packed, right? And it's like, and then everyone's like, they're wearing masks. They're wearing masks. You know, it's fine.
Why are the numbers up?
Yeah, no, it's like dude, it's an unwinnable situation. And props to like, who someone who takes COVID really seriously, but also calls through this bullshit is Glenn Greenwald. He's like, yo, you guys can't do this shit. He's like, he's not like a COVID. He's not like a Berenson kind of guy or like us or anything. He's like legit worried about COVID, which is fine, which is good. But he's like, yo, this media shit of like, like doing 1 week and then the other thing, so he's good on that too, for sure.
No, it's an ever-changing narrative, and it almost makes me think they don't want 100% compliance in any direction to where lockdowns can still continue. Like
what do you mean?
So here's what I'm saying. It's almost like just like how the New York Times, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. New York Times puts out an article like, hey, there's a lot of vaccine skepticism, Then 2 hours later, vaccine's great, all that kind of stuff. All I'm saying is I don't think they ever want 100% cooperation in any direction, because then they can blame the numbers on not everyone being together on this shit.
Yeah.
So then that's a great point. Like another lockdown.
So you can always have there's
an article I can post and be like, I told you here, but then you also told me here. It's the same way Fauci said in March, right? And I listen, I implore everyone. I don't want to promote some guy who has the biggest podcast in the world, but fucking Joe Rogan. Like, if you listen to him with Alex Berenson, it's a fantastic podcast.
That's good.
Because Alex Berenson is not. I think it's the reason people sometimes gravitate towards us, because we don't sound like psychos when we talk about normal doubt amongst shit.
Well, and it's just I'm tired of being. Man, it's crazy, and then we can get into the vaccine shit a little bit later on. But it's I'm tired of, and this is the whole, and this is again big with like the food and organic versus GMO or whatever, or diet or COVID stuff or vaccines or any of that stuff, where like people have this weird air of authority, and they're like, oh, really? You believe that? And it's like, yeah, here's the data, here's the stats and everything. They're like, oh, really? And it's like, yeah, I just posted it. It's like, I know more than you about this. Yeah. And it's like, I've researched it more. I'm not like doing this to be contrarian. I don't, I don't have a dog in the.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
It's like, why do I know? Yeah, no, we'll talk about this with the vaccine, but like with pharma bros, like, why do I know more about the stats of your vaccine than you do? Like, why have I read the paper more than you have? Like, why do you?
And you swore allegiance. You did a damn pledge of allegiance to this shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you're hawking this shit, and like you don't know the stats of your own shit. And I spent a half a day researching it and know more than you. Like, that's sad, dude. That's like, and that's the state of. That's what.
Yeah, but you're also like literally the smartest person I know. So like, I don't know.
No, thanks, but I do. No, but I do have a knack for getting to the bottom of shit really quickly.
No, like, especially when there's numbers involved. I always send it to you. I go, hey, what's going on? Like,
that's why we're on this COVID shit in like April. We're like, wait, what's going on?
I would not. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. If it was not for you and maybe a little bit of CRK too. Same thing. I'm one of those people, like, I don't have that ability to just like, I'm not the debunker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reddit fucking debunk. I'm not that
source,
guy.
Please.
Yeah, source, please. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, if it makes sense to me, I'll believe it. And if somebody packages it to me, somebody I trust, somebody I know, somebody that I know doesn't have a narrative. Like if it was really that fucking crazy, I'd be like, yeah, we need to stay inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it was that fucking crazy, I'm not one of those people that's like, no, we should never have a lockdown, no matter what. If this was killing 10% of the population, which it was predicted to, let's never forget that it's to kill 10% of the world's population,
even 1%, like that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd be like, bro, like we gotta, like,
oh yeah.
And I'm not no lockdowns, no matter what. I'm not some like libertarian psycho like that. I'm not.
And here's what happened is the strictest lockdowns were voluntary in the beginning of this thing before any government said any shit. All the government stuff, all the governor shit, with like restaurants, all that came after people, when streets were deserted everywhere in Cal, where you're at, where I'm at up here, where it was like ghost town. that wasn't the government saying that shit. That was like people like, hey, we're just gonna hunker down for a week or two. I remember that. That was
all it was.
It was voluntary. And then once people were like, oh wait, no one's dying in the grocery store in mass, no one's fucking doing all this stuff.
28 days later, type shit.
And then here we are, and here we are in fucking the new year, and like our governors are still now. They just hopped on super late, and we're just so it's
they're
right to the party,
exactly.
But you're gonna love when we have Latham on, man, for sure.
I know we need him. We need Latham. We need Serena. We need a 4.
I want to do
we headache pop the 4-way thing for us. So I'm down again.
We got to do we'll get Latham for solo, and then we'll get a foursome with Serena going. That'd be great.
Oh, so you okay? Yeah. Let's do both. No, and straight up.
But yeah, dude. But it's just great. It's just It's so fucking. I am like fucking bitter and black-pilled about the fact that like, you don't have to be. You can be dumb as fuck and get like a high-paying 6-figure job just being anything, whether it's in medicine, whether it's in X, Y, or Z field or whatever, just by being like a dumb sheep and going along with the narrative and not looking up the stats on the vaccines that you're pushing, not, shit like that. And like people like us are just like, we're just like sitting here like, don't have a degree in that field, but like, why are you guys wrong on this? Kind of shit. It's crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my life story.
There's like almost a meritocracy denial to that, where you didn't. This guy went to fucking Boston College or Boston University. This is how dumb I am. I don't even fucking know which one's better. But like, like that kind of thing. I wanted to talk about one thing. We didn't get to talk about this. This happened a while ago, but we didn't get to talk about this. I got to put this guy on fucking blast because I can't fucking stand him. I'm sorry.
Let's go, dude. Let's
go. Sorry, screen share is fucking with me right now, but I'll just read it. So Young Walken as a worker, as _a_ worker, you know who I'm talking about, that fucking dude. So there's a couple of stages you could be at, right? Like you could be the like, hey, this is kind of bullshit. But like to say that the lockdowns didn't benefit the rich, and like I hate that it's viewed as collateral damage. When the 845 billion just goes to the elite. You know what I mean? I hate when whoops. Like as if Jeff Bezos is like siphoning gas out of the car. You don't realize, what are you doing, you bald fuck? Get away from my car. Like you didn't realize, of course he was going to profit from it.
Largest transfer in human history is not a mistake. It's not a fucking, you know what I mean?
It's
not a
exactly, because our infrastructure was set up that way to begin with, and they just smashed the fucking gas pedal on it. But like you get these people, and this guy's a legit like leftist Patreon guy. So
he's got a big following and all that.
I hold them to a higher standard. I'm sorry, I just do. But this guy, he says, and I'm gonna read this, a 3-tweet thread. So he goes, maybe the most pernicious. Pernicious. Stop it. See,
I like that though.
They use that. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. But maybe
your take's ruined because you said we're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's the problem. That's the problem. Like it's like I'm still smarter than you. I'm sorry. Exactly. Maybe the most pernicious line of thinking on here is the elites control the economy as opposed to the reality. Elites disproportionately benefit from the economy, but their actions are always determined and constrained by the profit motive and class relations.
Fuck off, dude. Oh my God.
Come on.
What?
Yeah, come on. No, this was a long time ago to this thread. This is not a new thread.
Yeah. What the fuck,
so that's tweet 1 of 3. Tweet 1 of 3 is whoops. You know what I mean? This is the way, which look, that is the way our infrastructure is set
up. That's someone trying to Marxist too hard. Like it could just be explained by natural forces, bro. It's like there's some deeper shit going on today. In today's world, it's like it is the elites. Fucking
tweet 2, because he had to go off. He waited 4 minutes between posting this. So he goes, the elites control the economy, not just leads to disfigured analysis. It also leads to very often a populist conspiracism whose only outcome is hopelessness, resentment, and despair. So populism, when a bunch of people, no matter what their fucking political, alignment is, just be like, hey, that's dumb. Like someone going outside and go, hey, it's 81 degrees today. It's kind of toasty. Everybody else goes outside and says that. So everyone sees it, but he's like, nope, that's bad. Can't do that.
Exactly.
You can't have the same opinion as a right winger. Can't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, so it's the whole, I'm not trying to cut you off every tweet.
No. I'm breaking down
these bros are so fucking scared of being associated whatsoever with like anyone MAGA, like any poor Trump voter or whatever, even if they have a correct take on the economy, right? Or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That shit got that shit got me crazy, like excited when I sent it to you. One of the guys I'm in a like a sports group chat with. He was like, "Hey man, I give it a listen." Like, and he's like a legit conservative. Like, and he was just like, "Look, man, like I don't know if this is like an insult or anything, but like I kind of like fuck with what you guys are talking about. Not all of it, but you know, some of the stuff I'm talking about." He goes, "I also want to fuck the car fox." I'm like, "All right, that's fine.
Let's go.
What I mean, like, hey, if that's how you got roped in,
that's all you need.
Yeah, that brother's starving. It's okay.
Yeah.
But so like that kind of thing. I'm juiced when like a right winger agrees with me.
Yeah,
I'm juiced.
Yeah.
I thought that's what this was all about. You know,
no, these people, it's so dumb. And no, go on though. Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. The last one.
Yeah,
this one is the fucking just he did it in like 3 acts, like Shakespearean almost.
Yeah.
And this one, he says just a few minutes later, he says, the same goes for politics and culture, of course. Combine these 3 things together, and you're halfway towards cultural Marxism, triple parentheses, territory, or the time traveling lizard cabal. First off, I had to ask Alex G what that meant. I had to ask what the triple parentheses mean. I guess that means anti-Semitism.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like if you were to like quote somebody like and say like this is anti-Semitic, you would put triple parentheses on each side.
Okay.
So he's making it say, and look,
yeah,
he's more than welcome to hit me up about this shit because I've been in arguments with this guy before. Like he's more than welcome to hit me up and say like that's not what I'm saying. Are you saying
come on the pod? Let's debate about it.
Exactly. I slide through. No problem. I'm not using it for clout or anything. I don't give a shit. Even if you don't want to put it on a pod, I'll just debate you on Zoom. No problem. Like, and if I just want to ask this guy as a worker, somebody send it to him. I don't give a shit. Send it to him. Yeah. Are you saying it is anti-Semitic to say that the elites are benefiting from the lockdowns? I'm not saying they're lizard people. They might be. I'm not saying they're not. But like,
and they always throw in some. This is such a common tactic with these fucks, man. They will. First of all, I'll go on the record as saying that I'm not even convinced that lizard people aren't real. Okay, let's just go there.
Let's go. Yeah, I barely think birds are real.
Yeah, dude.
So, yeah, come on.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying, like, these same thing. It's like, oh, you think Big Pharma, like, does shitty vaccine trials to show that they're safe? It's like, oh, you think the Earth's flat too? They always
do that Joker. That's from the Joker, where he goes, you think jokes about such and such are funny? I do, and I'm tired of pretending they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it's like, it's just so they always have to slide in some weird like straw man kind of thing, and they always have to put in, but
or just turn your take up to volume 10.
What is he saying? What is he say? What's his point? Like,
he's saying that
what's his point and what's his solution? Like, what is he? How do we get out of this?
The solution is you become a $5 patron to the podcast of him and his fucking whatever that chick's name is, the equally as fucking garbage chick, and but that's his thing. I mean, let me just look at it again. What he's saying is for you to say that the elites benefited from the lockdown is not bad. For you to say it was designed for them to benefit from the lockdown
is anti-Semitic.
It is anti-Semitic and right-wing conspiracy. So it's like, well, okay, here's the thing.
Dude. Yeah.
Here's the thing. So like, if I don't shovel snow, right? If I lived in a place where there's snow, if I don't shovel snow from my driveway, and this might be a bad analogy, I'm just coming up off the top of my head. If I don't like shovel snow for weeks, and then I realize when I'm like finally go back to work, and I'm like, fuck, I can't get to work. There's no way I could shovel all this snow right now. It's like you didn't do anything to prevent anything happening, during all this fucking time. Like I said, if this was a lockdown that was truly meant to benefit public health, truly meant to benefit the working class, to make sure nobody fucking dies, they'd be like, look, Amazon, your wealth is capped at this thing right now. We understand there's gonna be a lot more orders. Here's the thing, we're gonna cap your wealth at such and such billion. It wouldn't even be a small number, and we're gonna redistribute that wealth to workers, to people. We're gonna use it as UI insurance. We're gonna use it as and all that kind of stuff. There was never any of that kind of infrastructure based in the lockdown. They rushed into it, and then they kept the current infrastructure, and it all fucked up. So how is it not by design?
Yeah. And it's the thing is, this is like the whole like the Chopoverse left kind of thing. I remember early on in this shit, these guys were, and that was kind of when I was separating a little bit from that, and kind of be like, I don't know if these,
wasn't it? Yeah,
I don't know if I'm like these guys. Yeah, but they were stoked this was all happening because they thought like this was and I'm not even saying they're wrong, like percent. What? Okay, they were like,
this was the end of capitalism.
Yeah. They were like, this is it.
I did for a bit too.
They were
just a second.
No, but that's accelerationist, and it's like that's fine, but it's like
people are gonna die.
People are dying because it's like, yo, and that's fine if you admit that. That's fine. But like, I remember a couple months into this, I'm like, yo, I don't want these fucking Vietnamese restaurants to close. Like, what are they gonna do? Like I'm not that much of a told you so guy to where I want like people to suffer in order. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be that way.
And it ties into the whole small business versus big business thing, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I don't go too crazy into that. Yeah, we'll do that next week. And
so it's like this guy and everyone else, they're just like, no, bro, you just gotta like read a little bit more Marx, just like understand it a little more. Don't have any modern take on it. Don't have any fucking. It's like what in our last guest pod when
Hey God.
When they were like, when I forget it was A God or Headache was like, it's like these people think that like labor relations are the same as in Lenin's time, like it's the same problems.
I think it was both of those.
And it's like, and of course there's like fundamentals that are the same, but it's like this is a whole different ballgame with
different game. This is a final boss, man. This is like a whole different like boss. You get to that boss level, you know what I mean, where it's just completely different. You got to do a new strategy.
It's not a conspiracy.
That's cool. Take some things from Karl Marx. Take some things from there. Like that's fine. I didn't know we were supposed to be like it's look, CRK, Class Redux Killer had a fantastic take where he's saying these fuckers are like evangelicals with their shit.
Yeah.
And it's 1000% true. Where it's like, no, we can't detract from the Communist Manifesto. We can't detract from Das Kapital. We can't. Yeah, like just.
Which is why, and we'll talk about this next with our guests.
Yeah,
next time too. What's the name of their pod again?
System of a System.
Self-optimizer, system of a system. Yeah,
system of a system. Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. I love those.
No,
guys.
they're great. Yeah, fantastic.
But no, and because I want to ask them because they both describe themselves as Marxists, but they hate that shit too. You know what I mean? They like
they're normal people.
Exactly, and they're not dumb as fuck. And but I want to ask them like, well, where does that mindset come from? And how do you not treat this
and how does that equal people dying inside their fucking house during I'll use the thing we're in a freaking pandemic, like how people say that. Where does that equate to like Karl Marx would be like, I want workers to be out of work when your work is completely dictates what your life is, and we don't have Medicare for all. We don't have any of that kind of stuff. We don't have any infrastructure to weather this storm. That's why you see other countries. Oh, well, how did these other countries do it? Not these guys. Yeah. Okay. I'm not even saying I'm pro lockdown. I don't even this virus itself, but let's say I am, right? Let's say I am pro lockdown. You didn't fucking pay me to stay at home. Not adequately. It was means tested.
You have to own it. You have to own all that. You have to own all the shit. You can't own
all of it.
You can't blame.
We're gonna own the anti-mask fucking deaths. You have to own the lockdown deaths. And I remember we got in that debate with that epidemiologist guy, and he just could not. There won't be any lockdown deaths because you don't have any data that have a cure. Do you think lockdown deaths are going to happen right now? No, they're going to happen over the next few years. Like people don't die of starvation within 2 days. They die of starvation over a period of days.
And I was thinking exactly, and I was thinking about this with I was listening to some random Rogan clip that came across my feed. One of his guests, I forget that guy's name, but some dude on Rogan, and he was talking. They were just normal dude. They're not fucking leftists or anything or whatever. There's normal dudes, and the guy was talking about his dad, and Joe. When Joe like he'll rant to like 10 different guests on the same topic, like over and over again and shit. Yeah.
My friend Michael Yo. Michael Yo.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No,
Joe,
but because he's again props, but Joe's.
You think Michael Yo's like, hey, Joe, stop?
Yeah. He almost died. He's very ill. He was like, he was one of the weak ones that didn't
Michael's
survive.
Like, I actually just did the Tour de France. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that shit. But no, the fucking what was I gonna say? This guy was on and he was like, my dad's ran an Italian restaurant for fucking 30 years. I can't imagine him doing anything else with his life. Like he loved it. He would shoot the shit with the customers. He'd make sauce every morning. At like
and it's productive labor too.
Yeah. And he said this year this is the year that took him down, and he's out of business. His restaurant's sold, and he's like immediately some dumb fucking janky chain, some like kind of basic bitch kind of chain thing went in there, right? And that got me thinking. It's like what sucks about the most the worst outcome, the most hellish dystopian thing that could happen with this is not that we all jump into some giant Great Depression where we all, I mean, I think this is going to happen to an extent, but like where there's people starving and addictions increase and all that stuff. Like, yes, all those things are happening, but more that the economy recovers based on the numbers, like GDP and shit. But everyone is just working, being like an Amazon forklift guy, or like that restaurant guy is now working for that shitty chain.
That's right? The Great Reset. That's literally what the Great Reset's going to be.
So we're going to live in some just like dumb Instagram world.
Houses foreclosed on, houses get bought up, they get turned into community housing where nobody owns anything. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to be like, hey, we bounce back. It's the same way you bounce back in 2008, right? After all the foreclosure things and all that.
It's like a ratchet. It's like it's every click we can't go back, and it's like click, and it's just gonna, and there's gonna be another one and another one, and it's ratchet, dude. It's exactly.
One thing I just wanted to bring up, because there's two more things I want to talk about. I want to make sure we don't go too long. That one guy.
Yeah.
I laugh because people don't know you, and I know you, and I'll send you certain things. I'll send you certain things. I'm like, hey, this dude's. Mm-hmm. He's shilling for Big Pharma, and it'll be some guy on the left. I don't think this guy's a bad guy or anything. I don't think he was a. I genuinely like the stuff that he posts, but he's kind of a vaccine guy on the left, Marxist, anything like that. Beta. But he put there was a guy who it's not the same guy. There was a lady who I like. She posted. She was like, "Look, we don't know if this shit stops the fucking transmission. We don't know what this vaccine. We don't know what it does. We honestly don't know.
Actually, we know it doesn't stop the transmission.
Yeah, it's actually been reported that it's not, that it stops transmission.
Yeah, it was never designed. This specific vaccine, these two specific vaccines weren't designed. But go on. I know what you're. Yeah.
So she posts that. Right. This other fucking loser retweets it, and he's like, "Wow, found the dumbest take I've ever seen." You know what I mean? Like, found the dumb. Like, that's what all these dirtbag fucking left
dumbest take.
They do the dumbest take. Found the dumbest dumb. First off,
it's actually a pretty fucking good take. It's a pretty smart.
It's not a take. It's a fucking uncertainty thing. It's it's like
a statement of truth. Yeah,
it's like we don't know, so maybe don't force it on people. Like, like if you want to get it, I'm not against the vaccine even being you might be, but I'm not even against the vaccine even being manufactured and being made optional for people. Like, if you make a trade-off, and you make a trade-off, and go, look, I have emphysema or something, like maybe like. Yeah, I can't get COVID. Like COVID will fucking wipe me out.
That's what Berenson said. There's a risk reward curve that when you hit like 68, 70, it's like you might want to get a vaccine because But so anyway,
So what the guy said, and I will say the guy that you went at it with, he wasn't as like crazy as the other guy. And what I found funny was he's like, you made a couple statements like saying like, look, like honestly, she's right, and he's like, oh, you made the classic mistake of trying to debunk the vaccine, and all that. And then after a while, like I came in with the podcast account, and I liked something you said, not the thing he said either, which is funny. Had I liked the thing he said, he wouldn't have never said this. But I like the thing that you said, and he goes, "Did you just use your own podcast?" To like your own comments,
dude.
And then you were like, nah, that's my co-host and stuff like that. And he goes, having a hard time believing that. And I'm like, it's literally me. First off, I don't even think you know the password. I changed the password. You don't even know the fucking password for the account. Like right now, I had to change it. And
also, I'm sorry, like. This shit just gets too Twitter weird for me.
You would literally.
Who checks the likes on shit? Who's like, oh, let me look who does that? Like
that's the dictation of being right.
Yeah, who does that, man? Yeah, and it's like, bro, and it's like, no, that was weird.
But I know you would never do that. You would never like, let me log in and like my comment. You would never do that. And what I laughed at, and I was like, no, this is me.
People don't understand. We don't give a fuck about like how many followers we have. We really don't, dude.
I post shit on there because I'm like, look, I have two different accounts. One of them's for sports. One of them's for just whatever dumb shit comes into my mind. Like, because my sports people that follow me for sports don't give a shit about any of that. That's why I put it on there. But what I found funny, and he was talking about all the stuff, and he was asking you to do all the fucking research for the take that he had. About vaccines. And I don't know if you want to go into it because I don't know exactly the specifics. Shit goes a bit above my head sometimes. But what was he saying?
So, well, the argument is okay, this is what Alex Berenson's saying and everything. The whole thing, like if you're, and this is the thing with vax stuff, there's always nuance, but people always land in one of the two camps, is what I found. Very few people are like wise enough to kind of rise
like
above
our
that
political
shit.
parties almost.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I land far more on the anti-vax side of things.
Correct.
Most of the time. At the very least, I don't give a fuck what anyone else does, but like
you're a libertarian. You're a vaccine libertarian.
Exactly. And I hate how the left is just completely I do not understand what is with our human psychology to where I do not get why leftists can be so hip about like corporations and Foucault and truth to power and all this stuff, and like, oh, actually like this, and then they'll be like, you got to get the vaccine by the corporation that's paid out more litigation settlements than any corporation in human history, Pfizer, right? It's like, why the fuck do we trust these guys? And so anyway, so Berenson's digging into the vax research.
But what was that guy? I don't want to say his name because I don't really want to like go at him.
Whatever.
I don't think he was. But like, what was his thing? Well, what were you doing wrong in his eyes?
So I was saying
you made the classic mistake. Like,
oh yeah. Okay. So well, I was saying, hey, this is a and again, this is a take I'll own. So this is an mRNA based vaccine, which this is the first time in human history this has ever been used in a vaccine for a novel virus, but a type of virus that we've been trying and failing at vaccinating for consistently for decades, right? Using a technology that that hasn't been successful in this, and magically we just whipped it out in a couple months' time, and it flew through regulations, right? So this is this guy's take.
But he was like, no, there's no way it can't sneak through. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So his whole thing was, he was saying that we've been researching MRA for a long time, even though it hasn't been used in a vax. We've been researching it for a long time, so it doesn't make sense to equate it. So he's like, you shouldn't be as skeptical as you should be of mRNA vaccines, because even though we've never had a vax before, we've been researching this for a long time. And B, he's one of those, actually FDA is super stringent bros. He's like, yeah, actually
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, actually it's hard to pass a drug through the FDA. And it's like, I think I get what he's saying. It's not like he's wrong. Like, there are a lot of hoops you have to jump through to get passed by the FDA, but not because they're hella concerned about fucking human health or whatever.
The EPA is the same way. Yeah.
Oh, the regulation defenders are the worst, dude. Like, regulation agency defenders. I used to argue about this with Chapo Bros, where they'd be like, oh, you just want to get rid of the APA then, and just like and I'm like, well, they're literally corrupt, and they get paid by corporations to lie, and it's like, what do you want them to still exist? So anyway, so he was saying we should trust this vaccine, even though it's never been used before in human history for a type of virus that's never been successfully vaccinated against. And so this is what Berenson is saying is like, so I'm a big vaccines absolutely have adverse effects, and they absolutely do maim and in certain cases kill people at a small percentage, okay, of the population, right? Like I'm not talking about COVID vaccines, I'm talking about vaccines in general. This is a completely uncontroversial opinion. The US government has paid out billions in dollars in settlements to people that have been harmed by vaccines. And there is a literal kangaroo court it's baked into US law where you can't sue the vaccine manufacturer in regular court if their product causes damages, right?
Yeah, it's quite a system they have.
Yeah, and that was put in the 80s under Reagan. And of course the COVID vaccines are under that umbrella now too. But so so my whole thing is, and people like me is like, they're absolutely, well, my whole thing, like, vaccines are generally more damaging than we're willing to admit publicly, like scientifically in the community, and less effective than we're willing to admit. They don't do what they say they do as well as they say they do, and it's not as safe as they say they are. I'm not saying that there's no benefit. I'm not saying that everyone gets hurt. I'm saying that they overlap, right? It's like,
just be honest, be transparent. Be transparent. Let me decide.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. It's like, if there's like a 0.001% chance of you getting, neurological disorder as a kid from getting the MMR vaccine or some shit, for an example, that's still not good. Okay. And that's still not, there's zero effort on behalf of the medical establishment and vaccine manufacturers and corporations and stuff like that to figure out why those 0.001% get harmed by vaccines. They pretend like it doesn't exist. And
what's the COVID death rate?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I'm not even talking about COVID. I'm just
right. Yeah. But right now we're applying it to COVID. That's what he's talking about.
Like, if they just said, like, if all they did was say, we know this does harm a certain very small percentage of people, and we're going to figure out what's special about those 0.01% to why, or whatever the number is, why they get harmed. But maybe it's a genetic thing. Maybe we can figure out why certain subsets of the population are more susceptible. And I think in certain cases there's like racial stuff and gender stuff too, with it. Like scientifically, not like identity politics shit, right? But anyway, but they don't do that. They pretend like it doesn't exist. And then when you call them and say, actually, it does exist, then they go like, well, we need to do this because if people don't do it, they're going to get hurt from the disease more. And like, so we have to, they're literally like, we have to sacrifice these people that are going to get harmed by it. But never do they say like, hey, why don't we figure out why people are getting harmed by this? So it's not even like a topic of discussion.
Yeah. Why can't I sue the manufacturer? That's all I'm saying. If I make it that way. Now, I'm not against production. You know what I mean? I'm not against production of it. I don't want to halt all vaccine production. I've never, ever been against it because I do see that them as beneficial to certain people that need them. But this whole thing is being framed that we need it. 95% of the population is supposed to get it if we want to eradicate the world of this virus. I'm perfectly healthy. You're perfectly healthy. But if the death rate is so small on COVID, I know you're not talking about COVID. You're talking about other things.
No, go on. Yeah.
If the death rate for COVID, it is small. I'm sorry, it's small. You can manipulate that data any way you want. But if the adverse effects, which we don't even fucking know, that's the thing about this vaccine, we don't even know about how crazy the adverse effects are to it. We don't even have those numbers to compare to each other. So to make it,
So this is exactly, well, you brought it right to where I wanted to take it is. So this is what Barrison's talking about. We do know a lot now about, and so what I was getting into with that guy about is, I was like, look, regular old vaccines have adverse effects at a very small percentage, right? And we generally just accept that as this is just the way things are.
Collateral damage.
I personally think there's ways to live as humans, be it nutritionally and supplements and vitamin D, and maybe some kind of vaccine technology. I think one day our vaccine, the type of vaccines we use, will be looked at as extremely barbaric and like, it's very silly, So I'm not even saying that the concept is wrong. I'm saying that the way we do it is obviously harming people, and it's not as effective. Like the measles. There's little towns in Canada, in like northern Canada, that have 100% measles vaccination rates, and they have measles outbreaks. And guess what? The media blames anti-vaxxers, even though everyone got the fucking vaccine. So there's no. It's just like the COVID.
It's just like we're locked down. We're locked down. We're all wearing masks. But you can't figure out. That either A, the masks are useless, or B, we just have to fucking live with COVID. Like you just like exactly. that just might be the thing. We have to just I'm sorry, we live in the unlucky time of COVID.
For vast majority of people, if you do get measles, there's things you can do.
Yes.
Like intravenous vitamin C and stuff that we don't do for most people. That would totally make it virtually harmless for most people. You recover in a few days, But that's another topic. So the fact that we don't do that,
and then
but this guy was saying, I was saying like, we know that vaccines harm a certain percentage of small percentage of people regularly, and this is completely uncontroversial, and this has been proven in court, and it's been paid out billions of dollars by these corporations. We know that Pfizer has paid more in settlements than any corporation in human history, and they're the ones doing the mRNA vaccine, the brand new technology. And their data from their own papers shows an extremely high level of what they call grade 3 and grade 4 adverse effects. Now that, it's like, it's not like huge, and So when I mean extremely high, I think the Moderna one's 17%, grade 3 and grade 4, and the Pfizer one's 21%. So 1 in 5 people is going to get an adverse effect from this vaccine. And like they'll say it's like, oh, it's just like a little soreness on your arm or stuff like that, right? Well, no, 9%, half of those have such an extreme adverse reaction that like they have to stay home from work or something, or they have to take time off work and stuff like that. That's 1 in 10 get right? Almost 1 in 10 from the Pfizer vaccine. So I'm saying like this is not a normal vaccine reaction. This is not 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000. This is 1 in 10. It's going to have like a
and they weren't testing the people most susceptible either.
Exactly. Yeah. No immunocompromised people in the trials, right?
Old fucks. Old people.
Although Berenson does say that for some weird reason, young, healthy people get adverse reactions to the vaccine for more than old people. And he's saying maybe it's because our immune systems are like, that's what it's designed to do, is to like react strongly to a vaccine, right? But so here's the thing is like, so his whole, he was playing like the whole, like, not a big deal thing with like the, well, first of all, he was saying like, I don't believe your data. And he's like, is it 1 in 5? Is it 1 in 10? And all this stuff, playing all this stuff. And I'm like, here it is. Here's the paper for the vaccine you're shilling. Here's the data from the thing you're talking about that I, for some reason, know more about than you do, pharma guy, right? And it's like, yo, 1 in 10 is a huge adverse reaction effect. It's a brand new vaccine with technology we've never done before. We don't know the long-term effects on it. We know the short-term effects. And it's like, if it's 1 in 10 adverse reaction, then the serious stuff, like the hardcore shit, is going to be higher than the rest of the vaccines. So no one's talking about this. And when they put this vaccine out, they did not release the real time, not the studies I'm talking about, but the real time adverse effects. This is what Berenson was talking about. They waited like fucking a week to put this shit out, and everyone's like, "Where's the data? They're putting out all data on all the other factors.
Where's the data, Lebowski?
Yeah, exactly. Where's the data, shithead?
Yeah, cut off your fucking Johnson."
So anyway, by the time I posted the actual like literal screenshots of like the numbers, he didn't reply, and I'm just like, okay, there, it's done, I guess.
Did you just like? No, he did. Did you just like from your podcast account? From the, it's like, and then they do the Twitter rules, and you said it perfectly. It's like, I don't give a shit about your fucking Twitter. You and I aren't like Reddit poster from like back in the day. I don't know all this shit, man. Like I come from sports Twitter.
Why do I know more about this than you? Why do
exactly?
You say you're like a pharma dude, and you're saying that as some kind of like, you say that to give yourself some kind of authority.
And like, it's not neutral.
I know what I'm talking about.
That disqualifies you when you're a pharma guy, in my opinion. That was the thing I thought. He goes, I used to work in the pharmaceutical industry. I used to work in pharma. Well, first off, I don't know what your job title is. You could have been fucking janitor. Second off, like, okay, I'm a police officer. Brutality, it's overrated.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
I'm a military guy. There were WMDs in Iraq. I'm this guy. So first off, why would I fucking trust you, dude?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna. I'm not.
And also,
that's a weird mentality to get to. But I'm just saying.
Totally. And also, who gives a fuck what I think? Isn't it funny that 40% of healthcare workers don't want this vaccine, and like vaccines are just going bad everywhere, and no one wants this shit? Like, isn't that funny? And
that's where that whole shit, that's where that stemmed from.
And also, I totally get, like, if I was a nurse working in the fucking emergency room or the ICU for 10 months during a pandemic, and I did get sick, or I got it once and had to take like 2 days off of work and, had some sniffles or whatever, for which is the majority of people, that's what's going to happen, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good off the COVID. Like, I've been working in the fucking, in the red zone for.
Yeah, they have immune systems like fucking insane.
Dude. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah. So it's just like, this, the vaccines at night, it's like the Marxism thing. It's not a tool anymore. It's a total cult ideology war thing,
evangelical shit.
Evangelical. Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
we'll say
that was
that.
like a huge
no, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I was going to talk about the bomber in Nashville. We'll talk about that next time. I think we're good. None, because that was nuts. We'll talk about that another time. But as was part of it, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. Wanted to get the COVID takes off. Shout out to everybody that's been listening. It's the numbers keep going up kind of crazy, which is kind of nice. It's been good. So subscribe to us on iTunes.
Like our shit on Twitter, so we don't have to do it from our own accounts and get called out.
Please follow the Twitter rules.
Dude, Twitter police, dude. Like what? Like I'm just
fucking losers.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking losers.
What is that?
People when MF Doom died, like shit posters, right? When MF Doom died,
Oh,
right?
here we go.
Which to me, like, I don't even want to talk about this, but I will.
Yeah.
I laughed. Like, I'm talking about these shit posters where, like, I literally saw a guy post, like, a guy shitting his own balls out of his ass. No joke. I saw a guy do this and then be like, yo, dude, why are you posting about MF Doom like that, bro?
Yeah,
I mean, like, no, there were a couple guys.
Yeah, hey, man, that's like
I'm not gonna say names. I'm not gonna say names, but there were guys saying, like, you know, Chrissy Teigen just lost her fucking baby. Oh, I bet the fucking, you know, Moloch ate it and shit. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's funny. And I laughed. But like,
but don't criticize
like, don't criticize MF Doom. Like, make a funny joke, even though you might have joked about Kobe dying and with his daughter in a helicopter. You know what I mean? Who has a way bigger impact and has fans who will come kill you. There are literally people who have driven 3 hours to go fight over Kobe. It's been documented. But like, there's people like that. Yeah. There's Twitter rules. No, there's Twitter rules. And it's like, okay, I get it. Okay, first off, you're exposing yourself. You're a shit poster. You're exposing yourself as a fucking nerd, which I should have always exposed that. Right? Yeah. You're an Adult Swim fucking nerd, which, hey, that's cool. Whatever. But it's so funny to me that people lose their mind over like, oh, did you just like from this account? Shut up.
Yeah.
And these are other people who create their own accounts to interact with themselves. With each other. I've seen it.
Dude, it's fucking weird,
man. That create Fed post accounts. I don't want to say it, but like there's a fag post account. Fag post.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And I know who runs it.
Yeah.
And it's sad because they interact with themselves.
Yeah, bro.
On their other account.
Yeah.
Which, shout out to the Fed post because that's lit when you have somebody making like a parody account of your podcast.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. That's you've reached a certain level.
And like I like this person. Like the person who I'm talking about, I like these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like their posts. They're funny and stuff like that. But it's like, okay.
Yeah. No, I could see myself getting to a point where I like I want to do the thing where you can like preset your tweets and just have all your shit and send it out throughout a week and then spend like one day a week just like talking to your homies and like, commenting and shit. And but this dumb like
or you only get notifications from like your mutuals and shit. Like yeah. That's what celebrities do.
But this shit gets old when you're just like people are like trying to.
I'm sorry, somebody made a joke about MF Doom from like an obviously doing a bit. You know what I mean? Like the person's obviously doing a bit, and I just laugh. I laugh at all that shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Like I laugh at that. Like and then, like you
we're
said,
so bored this year, man. Like our whole life has been just like
I'm on Twitter all the time, but I'm not an online guy. That's the thing. I'm on Twitter all the time.
No, you're not.
I hate my job. Yeah, like I'm on Twitter all the time.
Your job affords you the possibility to
be on Twitter all the time. Exactly. If I was busy, I probably wouldn't be, but I'm on all the time. But I'm not one of these like online people where like, I'm in a couple group chats. I'm not in fucking 50 group chats like these other people. And it's nuts, man. Like it's nuts. And that was when that guy said that about you. And then I see all this stuff about MF Doom. Dude, people are gonna make fucking jokes about celebrities dying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're in the public eye.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why MF Doom's family didn't fucking tell you on October 31st. Maybe they wanted to give a little bit of time to themselves.
Man, if you dish, you got to be able to take. You know, that's the whole thing. If you're gonna be like,
what the fuck, man? And then like I said, this guy's posting all this crazy shit, and I'm like, you can't handle that. Like you cannot handle that. And it's like maybe it's a jealousy like account type thing. I'm like, if this is all you have, come talk to me, man, because I feel like I need to point you in the right direction because I don't think you're in the right thing.
Yeah, man.
Twitter is Twitter. You're not gonna like everything you see, and you're a shit poster, and you thrive off pissing people off and making people laugh on fucked up shit, and you can't. Yeah, it's insane. So nonetheless,
Creek poster, dude.
Shit's Creek poster. Yeah. So you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Glen Rockney. He's at Crypto Psi. Podcast is at Rare Candy Pod 1. We're gonna have a couple guests episodes coming up these next couple. I like the way we do it where we do a solo and then a couple guests. Definitely want to get some more vaccine knowledge stuff on here too. And I appreciate everybody for listening. Like I said, the numbers go up crazy. We're not on top of the world with shit, but it's like, wow, like I said, I posted it the other day. Like I thought we would be talking to nobody for like a year or two, like nobody.
Yeah, totally.
So it's cool that you guys listen. Just subscribe, leave a review on iTunes. Just help us get where we want to be. And that's it. I think there's anything else. All right, guys.
Peace.